Ever wondered what makes Cancer men so emotionally magnetic and mysteriously loyal? Today, we're diving deep into the soul of the Zodiac's most intuitive sign. Cancer men are ruled by the moon, and that lunar influence gives them a unique blend of sensitivity, protectiveness, and creativity that sets them apart. Whether you're dating one, are one, or just curious, this video will break down the top 5 traits that define Cancer men, and trust me, they're not what you'd expect. Stick around to uncover the emotional depth, nurturing instincts, and psychic vibes that make Cancer men unforgettable. Trait 1 is emotional depth and sensitivity. Cancer men are emotional powerhouses, though you might not realize it at first glance. Beneath their calm, often reserved exterior lies a rich inner world governed by the moon, the celestial body that rules emotions, intuition, and cycles. This lunar influence makes Cancer men deeply sensitive to their surroundings and the feelings of others. They don't just feel emotions, they absorb them, often acting as emotional sponges in their relationships and environments. This sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. Cancer men have an uncanny ability to tune into the emotional undercurrents of a room. They can sense tension before words are spoken, pick up on subtle shifts in mood, and respond with empathy that feels almost psychic. This makes them incredible listeners and confidants. If you're going through something, a Cancer man won't just hear you, he'll feel it with you. However, this emotional depth comes with a caveat: vulnerability. Cancer men are protective of their hearts and often build metaphorical shells to guard themselves from emotional harm. They may seem distant or moody when overwhelmed, retreating into solitude to process their feelings. This isn't avoidance, it's self-preservation. They need time to recharge and reflect before re-engaging with the world. Their emotional memory is also profound. Cancer men rarely forget how someone made them feel, whether it was joy, betrayal, or love. This can lead to long-lasting bonds or lingering wounds. They cherish sentimental moments, often holding on to keepsakes, photos, or messages that remind them of meaningful experiences. Nostalgia is a frequent companion, and they may revisit memories with a mix of tenderness and melancholy in relationships. This emotional richness translates into depth and devotion. Cancer men love with intensity and sincerity. They crave emotional security and will go to great lengths to nurture and protect those they care about. Their sensitivity allows them to anticipate needs and offer comfort without being asked. But they also need reassurance and emotional reciprocity. If they feel neglected or misunderstood, they may withdraw or become passive-aggressive. Ultimately, the emotional depth of a Cancer man is what makes him unforgettable. He's not just present, he's emotionally invested. And once you've earned his trust, you'll discover a heart that's vast, tender, and fiercely loyal. Trait 2 is protective and loyal. One of the most defining characteristics of a Cancer man is his unwavering loyalty and protective nature. Once he lets someone into his inner circle, he becomes a steadfast guardian of their emotional and physical well-being. This trait stems from his deep-rooted need to nurture and safeguard those he loves, often putting their needs above his own. He doesn't just care, he commits, and that commitment runs deep. Cancer men are not casual with their affections. They take time to build trust, but once it's established, they're all in. Whether it's a romantic partner, a close friend, or a family member, they will defend and support their loved ones with fierce devotion. This loyalty isn't just about being present, it's about being emotionally invested. They remember birthdays, check in during tough times, and offer comfort without being asked. Their protective instincts are almost parental, driven by a desire to shield others from harm or heartache. This trait also manifests in their relationships. Cancer men are traditional in many ways. They value commitment, stability, and emotional security. They're not interested in fleeting connections or surface-level interactions. Instead, they seek depth and longevity. When in love, they become incredibly attentive, often anticipating their partner's needs and offering support in subtle, meaningful ways. Their loyalty is not performative. It's woven into their daily actions and decisions. However, this protective nature can sometimes veer into possessiveness. Cancer men may struggle with jealousy or fear of abandonment, especially if they feel emotionally vulnerable. Their loyalty is so strong that the idea of betrayal or emotional distance can be deeply unsettling. They may become overly cautious or retreat into their shell if they sense a threat to their emotional safety. Despite this, their loyalty remains one of their most admirable traits. Cancer men are the kind of people who show up when it matters most. They're the ones who remember your favorite meal, defend you when you're not around, and stand by you through life's storms. Their protective energy creates a sense of emotional safety that's rare and deeply comforting in a world that often celebrates independence and detachment. The Cancer man's loyalty is a refreshing reminder of the power of emotional commitment. He's not just a partner or friend, he's a guardian of the heart. Asterisk trait 3 is home-oriented and nurturing Cancer. Men are the quintessential home buddies of the Zodiac. For them, home isn't just a physical space, it's a sanctuary, a reflection of their inner world, and a place where they can truly be themselves. This deep connection to home stems from their ruling element, water, and their planetary ruler, the moon, both of which emphasize comfort, emotional security, and nurturing energy. A Cancer man's ideal environment is cozy, warm, and filled with personal touches. He often takes great pride in creating a space that feels safe and inviting. Whether it's through cooking a comforting meal, decorating with sentimental items, or simply ensuring that everyone under his roof feels cared for. His nurturing instincts are strong. He's the type to remember your favorite tea, check in on your well-being, and offer a shoulder to lean on without hesitation. This nurturing quality extends far beyond domestic life. Cancer men are natural caregivers, often drawn to roles where they can support and uplift others. Whether it's as a partner, parent, friend, or even a mentor, they thrive when they're able to provide emotional support and stability. They're not afraid to show affection, and they often express love through acts of service cooking, helping with tasks, or simply being present during tough times in romantic relationships. This trait makes them incredibly devoted and attentive. They're not interested in superficial flings. They seek deep emotional bonds and long-term commitment. A Cancer man will go out of his way to make his partner feel cherished and secure. He's the type to plan thoughtful surprises, remember anniversaries, and create traditions that strengthen the relationship over time. However, this strong attachment to home and loved ones can sometimes lead to overprotectiveness or resistance to change. Cancer men may struggle with letting go of the familiar or stepping outside their comfort zones. They can become emotionally withdrawn if their sense of home, literal or metaphorical, is threatened. Still, their nurturing nature is one of their most beautiful qualities. In a world that often values independence and detachment, Cancer men remind us of the power of emotional connection, the importance of creating safe spaces, and the quiet strength found in caring for others. When you're with a Cancer man, you're not just loved, you're nurtured. Trait 4 is highly intuitive. Cancer men possess a remarkable gift that often goes unnoticed until you experience it firsthand, their intuition. Ruled by the moon, which governs the subconscious and emotional tides, Cancer men are naturally attuned to the unseen. They don't just observe the world. They feel it, sense it, and absorb its emotional currents. This makes their intuition one of their most powerful and defining traits. Unlike logical thinkers who rely on data and analysis, Cancer men often make decisions based on gut feelings. And more often than not, those instincts are spot on. Whether it's sensing someone's true intentions, predicting how a situation will unfold, or knowing when to offer support, their inner radar rarely fails. This intuitive nature allows them to navigate complex emotional landscapes with grace and empathy in relationships. This trait is especially valuable. Cancer men can often sense when their partner is upset, even if nothing has been said. They pick up on subtle changes in tone, body language, and energy. This makes them incredibly responsive and emotionally supportive. They don't need a detailed explanation to understand what someone is going through. They just know, and they act accordingly, offering comfort, space, or encouragement as needed. Their intuition also fuels their creativity. Cancer men are often drawn to artistic pursuits, writing, music, painting, or even culinary arts, because these outlets allow them to express what they feel but cannot always articulate. Their work often carries emotional depth and resonance, touching others in ways that feel personal and profound. However, this heightened sensitivity can be a double-edged sword. Cancer men may become overwhelmed by emotional stimuli or misinterpret signals if they're feeling insecure. Their intuitive nature makes them vulnerable to emotional shifts, and they may retreat or become guarded if they sense danger or dishonesty. Trust is essential for them to feel safe in expressing their intuitive gifts. In social settings, Cancer men may seem quiet or reserved, but they're always absorbing. They notice who's uncomfortable, who's being left out, and who's hiding pain behind a smile. This makes them excellent friends, partners, and even leaders because they lead with empathy and insight. Ultimately, a Cancer man's intuition is his compass. It guides his relationships, decisions, and creative expression. It's not just a trait, it's a way of life, one that brings depth, meaning, and emotional wisdom to everything he touches. Trait 5 is creative and sentimental. Cancer men are deeply creative souls, often channeling their rich emotional world into artistic expression. Whether it's through music, writing, painting, photography, or even cooking, they have a natural ability to infuse their creations with feeling and meaning. Their creativity isn't just about aesthetics, it's about storytelling, connection, and emotional resonance. They create not to impress, but to express. This artistic inclination is closely tied to their sentimental nature. Cancer men are nostalgic by default. They treasure memories, hold on to keepsakes, and often revisit the past with a sense of longing and tenderness. A childhood photo, an old love letter, or a song from a meaningful moment can evoke powerful emotions. They have a type to remember anniversaries, first dates, and the exact words someone said during a pivotal moment. These memories aren't just stored, they're cherished. Their sentimental side also makes them incredibly thoughtful. Cancer men are known for giving meaningful gifts, writing heartfelt notes, and creating experiences that reflect their emotional depth. They don't just celebrate occasions, they personalize them. A birthday dinner might include your favorite dish, a playlist of songs that remind them of you, and a handwritten card that brings tears to your eyes. Their gestures are never generic. They're intimate and intentional. This combination of creativity and sentimentality also makes Cancer men highly romantic. They believe in love stories, emotional connection, and the magic of shared experiences. They're not afraid to be vulnerable in love, often expressing their feelings through poetic language, symbolic acts, or quiet devotion. Their romanticism isn't flashy, it's soulful. However, their attachment to the past can sometimes make it hard for them to let go. Cancer men may struggle with change, especially if it means leaving behind something or someone they've emotionally invested in. They may revisit old wounds or idealize past relationships, which can affect their ability to move forward. But even this tendency stems from their deep emotional capacity and the value they place on meaningful connections. Ultimately, A Cancer man's creativity and sentimentality are what make him unforgettable. He sees beauty in emotion, depth in memory, and magic in everyday moments. Being close to him means being part of a story, one that's rich with feeling, crafted with care, and remembered forever. From emotional depth to unwavering loyalty, nurturing warmth to intuitive insight, and a heart full of creativity and sentiment, Cancer men embody a rare blend of soul and strength. These 5 traits aren't just qualities. They're the essence of who he is. Understanding them means truly seeing the man behind the shell,